Sometimes we think when we sacrifice for others we're just sacrificing and that's it. They don't maybe notice or they don't recognize that. But here, Emily is saying, hey, not only do I recognize Scott's sacrifice, but it makes me smile that he does that for me.
And she notices. And I think there's a good combo. I mean, I know as a wife and having kids who are becoming, fathers, to see your husband interact with your kids in a real genuine way and get them laughing is a huge bonus. It makes us smile. But I like the combo of like, hey, when it's time to have fun and get those kids laughing, you can do it. But when it's time to sacrifice and do the hard stuff, you can do it too. Sometimes there's hard stuff to do and you can't always just be the one to make them laugh.
In all of the good times and even the trials, through tears and through laughter, yeah, I know that I'll smile when I think of you. Smile for the things you do. Smile, God gave me you. You are a reason I smile. Yeah.
This is Behind Our Smiles.
Pursuing connection.
And finding joy.
Even in the struggle.
So Tara, how do you feel about the youngest of your children on the road in a vehicle all by themselves?
My baby turned 16 and he's driving on his own. You know the day's going to happen, but it still feels funny.
Yeah.
It makes me smile, but it makes me kind of a little worry a bit.
Yeah, he's a good driver, and I think all parents probably think their kids are good drivers, but that does give me a little bit of peace, and he's driving a pretty big vehicle.
I'm not worried about him driving. I'm worried about the other drivers.
But he's
crazy out there.
Yeah, he's doing very well. He takes instruction well, and I think he'll do great. But it's interesting. All 4 times it's happened watching the kid drive away for the first time. I'm like, what did I just do?
But this time has got a little bit more heaviness to it because I'm like, okay, we are no longer in charge of carting kids back and forth, dropping kids off, late night pickups. And like anytime there's a schedule thing going, can I get you there? Or could you have a ride? And now I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about how he's going to get somewhere.
Yeah.
I can sit back and put my feet up.
Maybe. You
and I'll get on my knees and pray. That's right.
Yeah, you mentioned it makes you smile, which is kind of cool. And that's one of our favorite things about this podcast is when you share with us what makes you smile about your husband or wife. And thank you. We have so many of these, and it's funny because they make us laugh. They make us chuckle. They definitely make us smile. They
sometimes cry.
Sometimes make us cry, but they also teach us things. And so we thought we would turn this episode over to our listeners and just share some of the ones that have stood out to us and made us go, that's very good.
Because behind your smiles is also like a really good little nugget of encouragement.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes I found something that someone has shared and going, that could be a whole episode. Like, let's talk about that, because sometimes when you put that into words, like, yes, not only does it make you smile, but that's a very good idea. Like, yeah, we should do that. So we're letting you kind of take over the episode and giving some ways to encourage husbands and wives in making their husband and wife smile.
Yeah, and if you have not shared what makes you smile about your husband or wife, or maybe you'd say, you know what, my marriage is in a place where I'm not feeling that a lot. Maybe these will give you some ideas, or maybe you've never told your husband or wife what makes you smile. Maybe this will encourage you as well. So we'll start with wives and some of the ones that have stood out to us about what makes them smile about their husband. So if you're listening as a husband, you're like, hey, I'd love to make my wife smile.
It could work.
These may be some good ideas. So we'll start with Lisa, and she's sharing about her husband, Brett. She said, what makes me smile about Brett is the depth of conversation we can have. He has a way of slowing down and being present with me and others, and that's something I really admire. I appreciate that. It's hard in today's world with our phones and all the things pulling at us to really slow down and be present.
Yeah, that's that simple word of conversation. And not even just conversation, but a wife often really enjoys deep conversation, like at a little bit more soul level, not just always talking logistics, but maybe things that are hard to understand or something you're working through. That makes her smile, knowing that we can have a deep conversation and you're present, you're with me. That's, again, it's a rarity in these days. But if you pull that off, it's going to make your wife smile.
Yeah, and sometimes most of the time, actually, those deep conversations don't happen in the first couple of minutes. It does take a little bit of time.
So next we're hearing from Hannah talking about what makes her smile about Jackson. And she says, his ability to keep me calm, even in the most stressful moments. He looks at everything glass half full and helps me so much with my anxiety. And Hannah, I hear you. Having a husband who can provide a sense of calm in stressful moments. At the moment, it doesn't make you smile necessarily, it just makes you calm. And then once you're calm, you're like, that's nice to have someone I know that when I'm freaking out, he's not also going to double the freak out with me. Like he's going to keep it level.
Yeah. That's a real gift, isn't it?
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
And I think as husbands, something you probably have to grow into.
Yeah.
Learning to manage your wife's changing emotions as they go up and down, saying, I'm going to be calm with her. So I think I appreciate that about you sharing that, Hannah, about Jackson.
Yeah, so Brett makes his wife smile by engaging in conversation and deeper conversation. Of course, Jackson by helping to calm her down. Aaron loves to serve. And I know, Tara, when you showed me this one and we went through this together, you're like, no, that's not serving. That's super serving.
Well, and this is a kind of a high bar, like this might be advanced husbanding, we call this, because it's a lot of serving he does. So I'll share what Aaron does to make Shelley smile. And it's quite an extensive list. She shares that he makes me smile because he constantly dotes on me. Mm. He'll make sure my outfit looks okay. And if I want to roll it first, he finds the roller and does that. And if I need a drink, he gets it, or a pillow, a blanket. If I cough, then he thinks I need medicine and gets it for me. He goes with and keeps track of all my appointments. He makes sure I get my oil changed, makes sure I have gas in my car. He had a remote starter installed that could start from anywhere because he was concerned I wouldn't be able to start it and be warm. He makes sure I drink enough water. He bought a cup that helps me keep track for me and reminds me. He drives me everywhere I need to go, orders the groceries for me and has them delivered, pays all the bills, lets me stay home and take care of the house. I could keep on going, but I'd run out of paper. He loves God with me and works with me always on improving our relationship. Way to go, Aaron.
That's amazing. And maybe you hear some of that and you're like, that's just
too many things to do.
Unattainable, right? That's hard. Like if I did the grocery shopping in our house, I think we'd be in some trouble. I don't know that we'd have everything we need. But I do appreciate his willingness to serve. And that's really what it comes down to. And I love the last line that she said. He works with me to always improve our relationship. And I think that's really what's important.
Well, and I think this is not so much even serving. Because again, how you serve may look different for your wife. Again, maybe I don't want you to do my groceries, or maybe I'm saying don't touch my car. But it's this idea that he's so attentive to her to go, are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Are you sick? Is your car okay? Like you can tell that she is on his radar. Like, where are you at and what do you need? And how can I help? And that's something to have to kind of grow in as a husband to learn how to watch your wife.
Right. And maybe he doesn't do every one of these things every single time.
But he's watching.
But it's enough that she recognizes that he's a part of those things.
But constantly doting. Awesome. That's amazing. And Joe, you're a doter as well. But again, it looks different in every relationship. But most women enjoy that extra attention to say, I'm watching you. I see what you need. I'll get it. Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're seeing.
So good.
Emily shares about Scott, says, my husband makes me smile when I hear the full belly laughs of my children because he's playing with them. He also sacrifices and goes the extra mile to serve our family. So back to what we were hearing about Aaron going that extra mile. Mm-hmm. But I like the word sacrifice in there because there is sometimes we think when we sacrifice for others that we're just sacrificing and that's it. They don't maybe notice or they don't recognize that. But here, Emily is saying, hey, not only do I recognize Scott's sacrifice, but it makes me smile that he does that for me.
And she notices. And I think there's a good combo. I mean, I know as a wife and even having kids who are becoming, fathers, to see your husband interact with your kids in a real genuine way and get them laughing is a huge bonus. It makes us smile. But I like the combo of like, hey, when it's time to have fun and get those kids laughing, you can do it. But when it's time to sacrifice and do the hard stuff, you can do it too. And sometimes you can say, hey, sometimes there's hard stuff to do and you can't always just be the one to make them laugh. So I think that's awesome, Scott, that, you're hands-on with your kids and also doing what needs to be done to better love your family.
Yeah, that's very good. So the last one we have
is from Lynn talking about Stanley.
Yeah. And Lynn says, this is how Stanley makes her smile. He says, simply the way he looks at me, his loving touch, holding my hands like we're newlyweds, the way I feel safe when we're watching TV and I lay on his arm and always fall asleep because I know I'm safe and spoiled to be his wife, and the way that he plays with our grandkids, all 10 of them, plus the way he treats his mother, who's 87 and so respectful to her. He makes me smile because God gave him to me until he decides to take him home. That's amazing.
That's really sweet. I liked what you said about safety. And this couple's been married for many years. To get to that place, you just go, you know what? I trust you. I can just fall asleep and I feel safe. You know, that's a hard place to get to sometimes, but it is absolutely beautiful to have that and to know, again, play with the grandkids, hands on dad, hands on granddad. It's always good. Then also, like, I love the way he treats his mother, who at this point is elderly, 87 years old, and respectful of her. I'm like, that's amazing. That is an amazing husband to have.
I remember when we were first dating, Tara, or even maybe right before we were dating, I was reading this book. I was trying to learn everything I could about picking the right wife or being a good husband. And I just remember, and I don't even remember what the book was or the author of the book, but basically watch the way she treats her father. And for a wife to be, watch the way he treats his mother. And so it's very interesting. It doesn't always play out exactly that way, but the fact that he treats her so well isn't a surprise that he also treats his
my mom well,
mother well. Yeah.
Especially when there's high needs. So that's some really great encouragement and advice from these women who said, hey, here's what these our husbands are doing that just are knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
So way to go.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah, again, if you're looking for a way to make your wife smile, maybe you're thinking, oh yeah, I can do that. There's some great inspiring ideas. Now we'll talk about
what can a wife do?
Yeah, what can a wife do to make her husband
What will get his attention? So we
smile.
have a few comments from some of the men,
Alan,
the men that say what makes them smile about their wives.
Alan shared about his wife, Melissa, said her immense steadfast devotion and loyalty, her love for the Lord, me and our family, her sense of humor when she cracks a smirk at one of my silly dad jokes, even though she's trying really hard not to, or at least to not let me see that I got her with my joke. Now, the funniest thing about that is I think sometimes those dad jokes are no longer funny because it's the 100th time you've heard it. But
when she laughs, it makes him smile.
Yes, it makes him smile.
Laughter, you know, like seeing your wife laugh is a big one. And laughter is fun. But also with the laughter is the devotion, right?
Yeah.
And her loyalty and love for the Lord. Like it shows, and that goes together too, right? When you are loving the Lord and loving, you know, and you're healthy in that way, the laughter is going to come more easily. But I love the fact that the laughter and the immense steadfast devotion.
I love that.
That's going to make a man smile.
And he leads with for the Lord, for the Lord, me, and
our family.
Our family. And there's something about a sense of humor is so good because it covers a multitude of conflict and issues. But it is also extremely contagious, Tara. When you're laughing or something is funny to me and I see you laughing, it makes it even funnier to me. I don't know why. It just
laughing is good and fun for everybody. So here's what Dan says about his wife, Kathy. He says, her God-given ability to immediately forgive and forget, to move past my mistakes and put God first in our marriage. All glory to God for his amazing grace and forgiveness to keep our marriage in his care. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one, is forgiveness.
And I mean, I think a lot of us could say God-given ability to forgive and forget. But when he throws the word immediately in front of there, that's pretty incredible. And even if it's not always immediately, like maybe she's not perfect at that every single time, it's enough of the time that he recognizes it and it makes him smile.
Well, it reminds me of our last episode. We talked about grace, that's saying, hey, in the end, all the grace and forgiveness that we have comes from God first, right? Let's first thank God for his grace and his forgiveness. And that's what's keeping our marriage alive. So I love that he acknowledges that and says, hey, I know I make mistakes, but I know that she wants to, move in forgiveness for me. So that is something that will make your husband smile.
Yep. And Jeff, now we're up to Jeff, who said that his wife, Heidi, makes him smile. This is how Heidi makes him smile. He says, it always makes me smile to know that she prays for me each morning on her way to work. She prays for strength against the deceiver and what he tries to do to destroy me. She prays for my girls and my ministry. And there is something incredibly powerful about, number one, knowing that someone's praying for you, but also being prayed for and then praying for others.
The power of a praying wife. Yeah, I think we talked about this with our episode with Jason and Hannah and this practice of prayer in our marriage and saying, hey, obviously, it's immense power and all that, but also we're saying, hey, also when your husband knows that, like, hey, you're partnering with me in this way, and here's how I'm praying for you. And I know you're facing some adversity here today, or I know you're facing, again, those weaknesses, and you're bringing God into it with me. Like, that's an amazing combination.
Yeah, and if you you missed that episode, it's really worth it. It's like 3 episodes back or 2 episodes back. But what she basically shared about was the incredible power of praying out loud for each other every single day. So getting a few minutes together and just praying over each other. And that's really powerful. But that makes Jeff smile.
And it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's relatively easy to do. Like, you don't have to get a training class first to start praying for your husband.
Right.
Just start where you are. And it's good. Once a day, twice a day, whatever your frequency is, it's all good. I really like this one from Carlos, talking about what makes him smile about Jessica. He said, I think of the hard work my wife does on an everyday basis. She takes care of our beautiful children. She also challenges me with my walk with God and everyday living. I'm a creature of comfort, and she helps me grow as a dad, a husband, and my walk with God. And I really love her. So I love the honesty here and saying, you know what? Like, sometimes us wives, we bring a little challenge into your lives, but he's like, I love it and I need it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a fun challenge for wives, but to say, hey, our husbands really do enjoy that, not enjoy it, but they appreciate a good challenge. And again, a loving challenge, not a destructive challenge.
And a challenge where you're walking alongside.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to help you to grow, and I'm rooting for you, and I'm on your side. So I've seen that quite a bit, that husbands are like, hey, I kind of like it. Yeah. We don't want to be, again, a creature of comfort where it's like keeping you sane. We want to be growing.
Yeah. And when you know your wife loves you, that makes it so much more powerful. Zach shared about his wife, Kelsey. Here's what Zach says. Hey, this is how Kelsey makes me smile. He says, I laugh every time I see her butt.
Oh, okay. That's how it's going to go.
Yeah. It makes me smile and get all warm on the inside, for her external beauty is magnificent. So he's saying
her beauty,
she is absolutely beautiful.
I think we had to include this one because many men, if you say what makes me smile about my wife, it's like, she's beautiful.
Right.
Her smile is beautiful. Her body's beautiful. Everything about her is beautiful. And I love that one too, because again, I mean, we can do things to help enhance our beauty, but many times you're like, honey, I just love you because you're beautiful, and you don't have to do anything to make yourself beautiful. You are. And I think that's a great gift that we can give to our husbands, make them smile, just by being who we are and letting them enjoy our beauty. Like, hey, can I look at your butt? Like, okay, if that makes you smile.
We'd love to hear from you. Would love to hear what makes you smile about your husband or wife. And as you've heard, pretty much nothing's off. Right? Like, I mean, we can share whatever.
What makes you smile? I mean, he told me the truth. He's like, that's what makes me smile. She's a magnificent beauty.
I love that.
And I'm guessing
what wife wouldn't want to hear that either, right?
To say that my physical appearance makes you smile.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I would love to hear from you. You can drop us a line anytime. What makes you smile about your husband or wife? Is it some of these things? Does some of these things inspire you? Yeah. Or do you have a completely unique story? Would love to hear it. You can share it with us. Tara, Tara, at BehindOurSmiles.com. When you share that with us, there's a chance we'll share it at the beginning of one of our upcoming episodes. If you, for whatever reason, want to share it with us, but you don't want us to necessarily share on the episode, just let us know.
That's
that.
Fine too.
Yeah, but there's something really powerful and really good for your marriage. It's a great exercise to think about, number one, what makes you smile about your husband or wife, and then number two, to share that with them. It'll grow you closer together. It's pretty amazing.
Every day.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll see you again next week.